What is up, my friends? The good news is your weekend has officially started. You are very welcome along to Friday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. As we know, the Reds take on Everton in the Merseyside derby with a 12:30 kickoff tomorrow. We'll be live from 11:30 a.m. to take you through the game. We'll have a late night agenda tomorrow night as well, and lots more coming up between now and then. Over the course of this video, we're going to be discussing some words from Arne Slot ahead of his Everton press conference, or I should say after his Everton press conference. We'll give you some words from Hugo Ekitike, from Richard Hughes, and a couple of interesting bits and pieces that we hope keep you right up to date, including a bit on Ibrahim Konate and Real Madrid's pursuit of him. So I'm going to do my part, but of course, I'm going to ask you to do yours. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like on this video if you enjoy it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Right, let's start off with some words from Hugo Ekitike about, well, settling into life at Liverpool and what it's like playing for such a big club. He said, "I didn't know the fan base of Liverpool was huge like that, but it's really good. I feel like they like me, so they show me a lot of love, and I just want to give it back to them." Well, Hugo, you're going to get plenty of love over the years, my friend, and that will be certainly given to you. The more you put the ball in the net as well, the better that will get. But for now, Liverpool fans very happy with the start to Hugo Ekitike's Liverpool career. Now, Moby Hake has put up a very good post, kind of calling out Diego Simeone for the hypocrite that he is. So Moby said Diego Simeone should try and listen to himself, quoting Simeone from, well, when they played at Real Madrid and he had a little pop at Thibaut Courtois. This is what he had to say. "With Courtois, if you provoke people, they get angry. You can celebrate the goal, but you can't be looking in the stands and making gestures." Hypocrite much, Diego? Hypocrite much? Well, there we go. As we know, he just couldn't take losing, really, could he? So, Cop Talk have given us an update about a report in Spain around the situation with Konate, Real Madrid's pursuit of him. They write that a report in Spain today basically says Real Madrid are still monitoring William Saliba at Arsenal, but are also keeping an eye on Liverpool's Ibrahim Konate. Now, I can add Mickey van de Ven to that list as well, by the way, of clubs that are players that Real Madrid are looking at. He said the difference is Saliba is described as the more attractive sporting option, while Konate convinces less in sporting terms, but because his contract is up in June, he's still on Madrid's list as a possible free transfer. This is almost identical to how the Spanish press spoke about the Trent situation last year. Not perfect, not elite defensively, but financially irresistible as a free signing, although Real Madrid, of course, did pay a small fee at the time for Trent. Now, Arne Slot, speaking about Alexander Isak's fitness, said this: "I don't think I'll tell the media a lot before the game about how we start. Recovery yesterday and we trained this afternoon, so it's how we all feel. Alex felt his body more than ever after his hour, so let's see how he's recovered today and we'll think about the lineup. The change of routine has to do with the early kickoff, so we gave them a little bit of extra time to recover, and a lot of that is sleep. As we all know, we had to play 3 games in a week, which we have a lot to do many times. Actually, it's 3 in 6 days. Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday is not a schedule that you see a lot." And he's right, it isn't great. Playing Wednesday night in the Champions League and then playing Saturday early kickoff feels like, well, it could have been avoided. But here we are, and let's hope we get the result tomorrow. Anyway, if we do get the result against Everton, folks, a reminder, we can put our feet up on Sunday, sit back and relax as Arsenal and Manchester City do battle. Arne Slot, speaking also ahead of the Merseyside derby, had this to say, and I do like that he brought this up because I echo this sentiment. He said, "In our hour of need, Everton reached out in a word and indeed to demonstrate that they stood with us. David Moyes and Beto visited Anfield publicly to pay their respects to Diogo and Andre on behalf of Everton, and I am aware that others did the same privately. In addition, we received contact at various levels of the club offering support." And I'm glad that he brought that up, because there is a rivalry, there is a banter between both clubs and both sets of fans, but we know when something happens in the city of Liverpool, both clubs have a history of coming together and unifying, and it is always greatly appreciated. Right, Arne Slot, speaking a bit about whether he can play Ekitike and Isak together, had this to say: I consider playing both together because you consider many things. If both in best of their form in life, you consider it, but also it's clear that we have a 4-3-3 structure, and in the end phase, we've played with 2 nines. Hugo can play off the left. It's a good thing about our squad. We have multiple options, and if some aren't fit, we can use them in a 4-4-2. That depends on form and fitness. Also, he said about the defensive issues, it's not ideal to give a 2-goal lead away twice, so it's something we can improve as well as many other things. If every game you have to go all the way to the end mentally and physically, you can run out of steam towards the end of the season. He's right, and we do have to stop giving up these 2-goal leads. The good news is we found a way to win these games, and that is testament to the courage and the bravery of the players, but be nice if we didn't have to win them at the death all the time. Alexis McAllister, speaking about Alexander Isak, had this to say. At the beginning, it was a big thing in the dressing room. And after we got a little tired because it was too long. It was too long, he said. The wait is what he's talking about, of course, for Isak to come in. We all know the player he is, and he's going to be really important and really happy to have him here. It is interesting to see that even in the dressing room, they were talking about how long this deal took to get done. The fact that they were all excited and fascinated by it at the start, but at the end of the window, I think everybody, including us fans, were just exhausted, but we're all glad and happy that Alexander Isak is a Liverpool player. Arne Slot said this: when you have a great player, speaking about Mohamed Salah, you still contribute to the team even when you don't play well, I mean with goals and assists. And this is what stands out for Mo. A lot of players do well when the team does well, but can't do special things when they're not. But he can. And he's right. We were frustrated at times to see that this isn't the Mohamed Salah we're used to, but against Atletico Madrid, the real Mo arrived on the scene, and let's hope this will kickstart Mo's great form for the season, because as Arne said, he is a difference maker. He always pops up in these big moments, and it's great to have him back to his best. Right, we are going to move on to a potential transfer target to keep an eye on for the future now. Arne Slot, according to Fakahes, is keen to bring Ajax defender Yuri Bass to Anfield. He's under contract at Ajax until 2028, so would command a decent fee. Now, I don't know anything about the youngster, so again, do let us know if you've watched much of Mr. Bass in the comments. Right, let's talk about Paddy Power and their top-level banter, because once again, they're at it. So they stuck a bus outside of Old Trafford. The number 343, by the way, that goes through Manchester. And on the side of the bus, they write, the only 343 that works in Manchester. I love it. Keep it going, lads. Keep it going. Richard Hughes has been speaking a little bit about transfers, how they happen, what it's like making them at Liverpool. He's been speaking via the Redbird Summit, and The Athletic have written this. As best you can, you have to detach yourself from what the transfer fee is likely to be. First and foremost, the identification of the right player for the right system for the right head coach has a fair amount of importance. And I think this is not something that's necessarily new for the football club and its ownership. If you look at what was paid for Alisson Becker, the £66.8 million in 2018, and Virgil van Dijk, the £75 million in 2018, in history, and you equate that to what it would be in 2025 money, you're not far away from where you are with some of the fees we've spent this summer. We pay what we believe to be fair market value for a player based on age, based on necessity of that individual to fit into the squad. We pay what we believe to be market value. In the fullness of time, we hope that instead of talking about what a huge fee it has been value for money for the football club whenever we're making that assessment in the future. And because of the ages of the players that we've bought, we're confident that that will end up being the case. It is always nice to hear from Richard Hughes, and I think everything that he said there makes perfect sense. We did spend a lot of money this summer. As Arne has pointed out, we also recouped a lot of money. But importantly, it is about whether these deals will be value over the course of time. He mentioned Alisson Becker and Virgil van Dijk there, and I think every single one of us would agree that nobody now thinks about the fee for Alisson at just shy of 70 million or the fee for Virgil at 75 million, because they have been an unmitigated success and been a huge part of why Liverpool have won Champions League, have won Premier League titles, have won every domestic trophy, and of course the Club World Cup as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we're at for now. Of course, we will be back tonight, 8:45 for the late night agenda. Hope you can join us for it. If I could be so bold, the Anfield Agenda podcast, the latest episode went out today. It was myself, Chris and Steve, If you get a chance, you can find it on Spotify, or you can find it right here on Anfield Agenda YouTube channel. Do let us know your thoughts on it. We appreciate your support. We'll be starting from 11:30 a.m. in the morning. Busy day for us tomorrow. We'll have the watch along, the match reaction, the player ratings video. We'll also have a late night agenda tomorrow night, and there'll be an episode of the Anfield Agenda podcast that will be recorded tomorrow to come out nice and early on Sunday morning. So that is it from me for now. I hope I see you tonight, but if I don't, enjoy your weekends. We'll talk soon. Much love. Bye-bye.